You're watching the Stephen VL Outdoors channel.
Welcome back to the channel. If you saw in the last video, we did lift kit on the 570. So today we're going to get started on another project on the 570. I do not have everything to complete this project today, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to turn you guys around and we're going to take a look at what we got. No, it's not completed yet, but you know, I got it sitting on there and it doesn't look too bad, to be honest with you. So we do have a Radiator Relocate kit. This is the Wild Boar Radiator Relocate kit. I did go ahead and purchase the light bar from Wild Boar while I was there, because upon looking on Amazon, I'm kind of actually a big fan of Nightlight, that's what they sent. I have some Nightlight lights on my truck, and man, they're still going pretty strong, so you can't go wrong with that. I did not get the wiring harness. I got just the light because I have a little plan of what I'm going to do, and I think it'll work. So, but real quick, let's go ahead and go over this. I did not do any video on putting the Radiator Relocate kit together, or you know, this part together, but I could tell you real quick, it's really not that bad. So you'll have this mesh piece, and then you'll have this outer frame, and all you're going to do is you're going to sandwich this mesh between this outer frame and both the side supports, and then you're just going to take all the included screws and nylock nuts and washers. There is washers on the back side, as you can see right there, and then there is a washer bottle bracket over here. I will say, when I did the light bar, I didn't use the included hardware that came with the light bar. I had a few extra pieces that came from this, and that's what I'll be using to mount the light bar up here. We're going to have to take a lot of stuff apart. I'm not going to show you how to take all the panels off. It's mostly just these clips and everything, so you'll have to remove your side panels, taking these clips out. You probably won't have that zip tie. This panel kept falling off when I would go through water, possibly because it's a bad design, in my opinion, from Polaris, but also, you know, my snorkel tubes are running through there, so it might put a little pressure on that. I'm not sure. So you'll have all that. You'll have to pull this piece off. This piece should come off. There might be some screws somewhere. I'll have to double check. And then same thing on the other side. You'll just have, you know, a few clips. You'll have one down here on both sides that you have to remove. So you will have a couple screws up here to take out. This will come out, and I believe you're going to have to remove your bracket for your battery as well. And, you know, I have some aftermarket hodgepodge crap that one of these days I'm going to redo because it's quite janky. So, but I'll have to get that removed as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get it tore down, and I'll get back with you when I'm ready. So, as you can see, we have the radiator out. And, yeah, that top corner up here in the very top got caked with mud. And even though I rinsed washed the radiator out, it's hard to get all that out. The backside, same thing. So actually, probably doing the type of riding that I do, it's probably a very good idea to relocate the radiator. And then also, this is the back side where the fan goes. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 spots where 4 screws go. And so I took the fan off to be able to get the radiator out a little easier. And then I was able to maneuver the fan, you know, down through here. It was a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I did get it. So now I'm going to go ahead and get this radiator cleaned out. and still got to clean up a little bit of wiring. Let me go ahead and do that, and then pick up from there. So now we have the radiator. It's been cleaned. We're gonna go ahead and mount the fan back on to the radiator. The fan is what actually holds the radiator to the relocate bracket. So make sure you have these pointed down to the bottom, because these are going to rest into the bottom of the bracket, and then these are going to attach on the top. So the 4 screws, if you did it like I did, took them out, we're just going to go ahead and put these back in. Now, it probably would be a little bit easier to mount the relocate kit on the front rack first, but I just want to double check spacing and everything between the fan and the headlight pod. So I'm going to go ahead, even if I have to take it back off, which I probably will. That's alright. Alright, and also when you guys get this, I forgot to mention earlier too, the directions are a little weird, and I had trouble figuring it out at first, because it said something about some L brackets or something on the bottom, but this particular kit does not use them. Like I said, these go into, there's 2 little holes down here. This will sit in those 2 little holes and hold the radiator on there, and then the top you're going to end up using the spacers to attach the top. It seems like it was not lining up quite right, and then if you put this on first when you're building this, you could use that to rest it on, which is kind of nice. So we'll go ahead and put the bolt through the spacer, put a washer on here, and then actually guys, these bushings, I might have this bushing the wrong way. So these bushings do have like a metal on the one side, and so I believe you're going to want to have that metal facing towards the relocate kit. Okay, so the problem that I am seeing with this is that the spacers are too long. I guess these will have to be cut down. We're going to tighten this up and get it fitted on the 4-wheeler. Alright, so I do not have the this actually attached, the rack attached to the 4-wheeler yet. But the reason I want to do this is because of how I want to mount it, and I want to make sure that it's going to sit where I want it, because I want to try to keep it back a little bit further. Something like that. Oh yeah, there's plenty of room. I could even, should be able to even go back a little bit more. And then I think the bottle is going to, I think the bottle's going to sit, let's see here. The bottle's going to end up hitting. The bottle's going to sit there, so I think I am going to have to move this up Alright guys, so yeah, I'm just being a little too particular. That's just me, but I'm just gonna stop right there. This is where I'm gonna put it. So this is where I'm gonna go get a marker. I don't think I have one out here, so that way I can mark these holes. And then I do also got to figure out where I'm gonna drill the holes through the front rack. What I've determined is that where I want to put the hole for the hoses, I'm going to do both of them through the same spot. So they're both, the other one's going to run across on top of the rack and go down in the same spot, because I want both of them to go here, and it'll just be easier to put, I think, the hole, you know, right next to each other. So let me grab the hole saw. I think it's like a 1.5, yeah, 1.5 inch hole saw. So here's the hose that they supplied, and the hole saw is just a little bit bigger than that. I need to be on this other side. I drilled into the battery compartment. Nice job! Now I have an extra hole that I don't need. That's why you got to pay attention to what you're doing. Thought I was on the right side. I need to be over here. And that's, see, I was trying to match up the, I was trying to match up where the elbow came out. But I guess you kind of can't do that. So now I just really messed up my, my rack here. So we're going to try this again. And now I'm going to have 3 holes. Alright guys, so we're back on the 4-wheeler Radiator Relocate kit. So I ended up picking up some silicone hose, radiator hose off Amazon. This is the Evil Energy radiator hose. I will put a link down in the description if you guys want to check it out. The reason I got it is just because that rubber hose that that they sent with the kit, this stuff is just so thick, and it's really hard to work with. So the silicone hose is a little more flexible, and so I figured that would help, you know, being able to get it to go where I needed to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed and get this thing filled up with coolant, so that way I can bleed the system out. It's been sitting here for a week, and you know, it got real hot here, and so you know, there's actually coolant on the ground. If you could see, it's been leaking a little bit of coolant because the coolant's expanding. So I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, get this all hooked up, and I'll come back and show you how I have the hoses routed and everything, and we'll work on getting coolant in it then.